simple that you're missing.
Yes, you're welcome.
What should we do for teens to be kept in the church? Can you give examples of families that have succeeded in that? And is there a blueprint?
Yes, bring in rock music. That doesn't work, by the way.
No,
You know what brings young people into the truth? Speak the truth.
Amen. Yes.
That's what brings them in. They're not really. I was in the camp meeting in Wales, and between the talks, the youth had a rock concert, a real one, where they were on the stage with about 5 or 6 drum sets.
Wow.
And the teens were jumping around on the tables, bumping each other's posteriors together and going crazy. And I was walking around there, and I had some interesting experiences in Wales, by the way, at that camp meeting. I tell the story many times already, so you might have heard it. I got there one day, and there was a young African American guy standing there at the door, but not in the place where they were making this rock music. And I sidled sort of up to him because I wanted to hear what was going on there. It was a bedlam of noise like you cannot believe. And I asked him what he's doing there. He says, I'm standing here because my friends are in there. So I said to him, well, why are you not in there? He said, because my Jesus is not in there.
wow.
That was a young guy. I don't know how old he was, but if he was 20, it was hard. And so I said, wow, that's fascinating. And I turned around to walk away, and he tapped me on the shoulder and said, do you mind if we talk? And I said, no, I don't mind. And so he got 2 chairs, and we sat down and we talked. Now, the camp meeting was a 10-day camp meeting, one of those long ones. And every day they had the rock music for the youth. And then I said, okay. Then he said, do you mind if we talk tomorrow? Same time, same place? And I said, okay. So I went the next day, when there was a thing, and there were 20 of them.
Wow. Praise God.
And we sat on chairs and we talked. And the next day there were 40 of them, and 50. And there were 100. And then it was in the foyer outside where the rock music was. And I said, what's wrong with you guys? Why aren't you in there? They said, we don't really want to be in there. It's a peer pressure. That puts us in here. We really want to hear truth.
Amen.
And we have beautiful discussions. That's what the young people want. They don't want this nonsense. They're not as stupid as we think they are.
Amen.
Which Bible verse says that the wicked who are alive in Jesus' terms will be destroyed?
Whoa.
Which Bible verse says that the wicked who are alive when Jesus returns will be destroyed?
Well, there are many Bible verses that you have to study to get the whole picture of what happens when Jesus returns. Every eye will see him. There will be a resurrection of the righteous. Those that are part in the first resurrection, they will be the ones that are blessed. Blessed are they who are part of the first resurrection. The second death has no power over them. So it tells us what happens. There's a first resurrection of the righteous. The righteous living will be translated. And then there are many verses in Psalms 110, Jeremiah. You can go through the whole Bible and you will find that when Jesus comes, they will be resurrected and the wicked will be destroyed. And it talks about the beast and what happens to him and what happens to the powers that align themselves against God. They will be destroyed by the brightness of his coming. They will not be able to handle the light. Even Moses couldn't see God from face to face and had to be shielded. Then the Bible tells us what will happen to them. And The Bible tells us that the wicked that are alive when Christ comes, that will be killed, will be lying like dung on the ground. They will not be buried. They will not be lamented because there's no one to lament them. So there are many, many verses. And if you want to look at them in detail, there are 2 lectures out. History's Coming Climax, and the long-awaited Millennium gives you the entire sequence with all the verses as to exactly what will happen in sequence.
Amen.
We've also done an episode now that will be coming out in the future.
Yes.
And Tim gave us, maybe also 2 Thessalonians 2 is 8. Also the
And
verse.
then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So if you want a verse that kind of mimics what you were asking, that would be one of them. But he's right. Every eye shall see him. Revelation 1. Yeah, there's lots of verses. That's Dr. Price.
Okay, I'm going to ask this one. If it sounds horrible to say to someone your house or religion is fallen and become a house of demons, then how would you say it and tell it?
In love. If someone hadn't come to me and told me that the system that I relied upon was false, I wouldn't have known.
Amen.
Was I happy to hear it?
No.
No.